What's up everyone? In this video, I'm going to share a little bit about how to develop the mindset of an awesome freelancer. If that's something you need help with, mindset training, then this video is for you. For those who don't know me, I'm Lex DeBill, and on this channel we help people escape corporate prison and build a freelance empire. We share lots of freelance writing tips and tutorials, so if you're new, consider subscribing. In this video, we're talking a little bit about mindset. For some reason, people always think that I have a different mindset, and it's a mindset that they think that they need to develop. And I get this question by email, I get it in PMs, I get it in comments, and so I thought we'd talk a little bit about it today. But before we dive into that, I did want to ask you, what is the biggest mindset barrier or issue that you face? What kind of mindset problems have you had in the past? What have you struggled with in regards to getting in there, getting started, or overcoming freelance challenges? That's my question for you. Hopefully you can answer it in a comment, and maybe we can just talk about it a little bit. But I got an email the other day about mindset, somebody asking about my mindset and wanting mindset mentoring. That set me down a path of thinking about what is it that makes my mindset. And I came up with 3 core areas that I kind of distilled it down to that have really helped me reach the next level. So I'm going to try and share those today so that maybe you can be thinking about those, or maybe they can help you in some way. So the first area of mindset that is probably the number one area for me is personal responsibility. This is just taking responsibility for yourself, your life, your actions, your outcomes, everything. And in my life, I accept personal responsibility for all of it. If something bad happens, I accept responsibility for me being in that place at that time. If I hadn't gone to that place at that time, then I wouldn't have experienced that bad thing. Or if I didn't say the wrong thing, then I wouldn't have lost that sale. It all comes back to me, which means that I have a responsibility to work on improving that thing, or to work on different approaches in the future so that I get different outcomes. It all falls back on me. I don't ever blame other people for the things that happen to me or for my outcomes in life. And I think this is the single most important thing that you can do as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur, is just to take personal responsibility. Because when you take responsibility for your own life and for everything that happens, and when you say it's all on me, it's all on my shoulders, whether I succeed or fail, that is on my shoulders, then it becomes your problem to do something about it, to decide to change that. So that kind of leads into point number 2. Because I'm personally responsible, I understand that I have to be the one to make changes. Nobody else is responsible for those changes outside of me. Nobody else is responsible to give me money or to make my life better. And the thing is, to make your life better, to get better at anything, you have to put in effort, you have to put in work. So the number 2 point is I've developed willpower. And willpower is a weird thing to develop, but it works kind of like a muscle in my experience. You have to work it out, just like you would lift some dumbbells to get stronger and to be able to carry more weights. With willpower, you start out small. So personal responsibility is accepting that you're responsible for things. So let's say that if my house is dirty, and this is kind of how I started developing originally. My house was dirty, my car's oil needed changed, and I needed to sweep, I needed to vacuum, I needed to do dishes and things like that. And it started with personal responsibility, acknowledging that I needed to do these things and then making a choice to do them. And it took willpower. I had to apply willpower, or will, in order to actually do those things right now. And this is one of the reasons all of my free trainings always have homework that tells you to do things right now. Because if you don't do it right now, the things that I tell you to do, then you're not going to develop will. You're not going to apply will, and therefore you're not going to exercise will. And without exercising will, it's not going to grow and strengthen. So I started with small tasks. I started by sweeping my house. And when I was done with that, I took personal responsibility and applied willpower to go on and vacuum, and then I washed the dishes, and then I decided that I would change the oil in my car, and I just did that thing, and it just continued. I just kept doing those things one after another, applying will again and again, strengthening that muscle, and over time I then built up to bigger and bigger challenges. And that's the thing with willpower. As it grows, you can take on bigger and bigger challenges. If you need to put 10 grand into an investment or into a business idea, you're not going to have the willpower, the mental strength to do that. Just like let's say you're in a job right now, you quit your job and you're going to go invest 10 grand when you don't have that. You're not going to have the resources for it. You have to build up to it. So that's where willpower plays a big role for me, is that I took personal responsibility. I decided that I was going to be responsible for myself, and I started developing willpower. And then now I feel like my willpower is very strong. I can take on very big challenges and overcome them, because it's not a big deal to me anymore. Something that would be a big deal to somebody else is not a big deal to me anymore, because my willpower is strong enough to just carry me through it. So the third part of this has to do with willpower. It's really just about automating your willpower. It's about building a habit of overcoming challenges. And as you do things in the now, as you apply will and you do things right now that you need to get done, no matter how hard they are, they're going to be scary. Things are going to be scary that you have to do, whether it's getting on phone calls, whether it's sending proposals, whether it's starting a business idea, quitting your job, whatever that thing is. It's going to be scary. So you have to apply will to do that thing. And then you have to apply more will and strengthen it to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And over time, it eventually builds into a habit. And once you have something as a habit, then it becomes automatic. It's just a thing you do, like brushing your teeth each night or each morning. It's a habit. You do it and you don't even think about it. So as you apply will, over time, you build a habit of applying will and overcoming challenges, and then it becomes easy for you, or it just becomes less noticeable maybe. You don't even think about the pain that you have to go through. If I started a new business or a new website, it's not painful for me to think about building that website or the work I'm going to have to do in marketing or the outreach I'm going to have to do. It's not painful for me to shut down something that isn't working. I will do that in an instant because I have a habit of applying will and knowing whenever I have to let something go. So it starts with personal responsibility, acknowledging that you are responsible for your own life. And then you move into developing willpower. You take responsibility and apply will. Make a decision to do this, and then once you overcome whatever challenge you've applied will toward, and that should be a small challenge, then you just do it again. You keep applying your will toward challenges and building up over time to bigger and bigger challenges and overcoming them one after another. And then it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, then you can go forward without even thinking about it. And this is going to develop a strong mindset, at least for me. This is the way I look at it. And these are the three things that I think have helped me the most in regards to developing a strong mindset, and a mindset that allows me to do things whether or not I might fail, or whether or not I feel fear, or no matter what I'm feeling, I can keep going. So hopefully that's helpful for you in some way. I'm not really sure. It's just an email I got yesterday that I was kind of thinking about trying to distill it down into these three things. And maybe we'll go into a little bit more mindset if you guys want that. Let me know in a comment if you want more mindset stuff, and we can talk about that more. There are definitely more parts to it. There's always fears and anxieties and worries and different things we can talk about. But those are the three core concepts. If you take personal responsibility, if you choose to apply your will to strengthen it, and then if you do that enough times to develop it into a habit, you'll have a pretty good foundation for a strong mindset that can carry you forward through most situations. So I hope that helps you. That's all I got for this one. It's funny how I always end my videos like I don't even have a transition out for it. I need to work on that and make a transition out for my videos. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'm Lex DeVille. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I will see you next time.